Neptune is a gas planet. It is our 8th or last planet in order of the planets getting farther away from the Sun, making it one of our outer planets. Neptune is a ring planet. Neptune has 4 rings and an oval cloud, which is called the Great Dark Spot, which is about the same size as Earth. Neptune has strong winds going up to 1,200 miles per hour on the Great Dark Spot, making it the windiest planet in our solar system. Neptune has 14 moons. Triton is the largest moon of Neptune. It is also bigger than the dwarf planet Pluto. Triton is a little pink on the south pole and has a very smooth and brown surface. Dark streaks on Triton are caused by pockets of nitrogen gas erupting like geysers. Gas and fine dark dust particles rise 5 miles or so above the surface and are then blown downwind for 90 miles in Triton's very thin atmosphere. Triton is very cold. It appears to actually be the coldest location in our solar system. Neptune's temperature is below 235 degrees Celsius, and it is covered all over the place with frozen nitrogen and methane gas. Neptune is bluer than any of the bluish planets, like Uranus, because of the very high amount of blue methane. Neptune is really stormy because the inside of Neptune is warm. There are also various dark clouds that whip around the planet. Dark clouds are basically clouds that rotate around the planet all of the time. They are different than clouds on Earth because they are made of different gases than the water on Earth. Neptune also has parallel bands that change its brightness over the years. Since Neptune has so many strong winds that come and go, scientists think that there are seasonal changes, which is amazing because Neptune only receives 1/900th as much as solar energy per unit area that Earth does. The clouds on Neptune are thought to be methane crystals that cast their shadows in opposite direction from the sun, suggesting that they are the higher altitude than the surrounding atmosphere. Some of the energy of Neptune is caused by the winds that are made from all gases and liquids stirred around to make huge winds. Neptune was discovered by a German astronomer named Johann Galle in 1846, but the existence of it was predicted earlier from the observation that something was affecting the course of Uranus's rotation. Urbain Le Verrier was another man who was interested in Neptune. In June 1846, upon seeing Le Verrier's first published estimate of the planet's longitude and Neptune similar to Adam's estimate, Adam is also another scientist, they thought that a certain planet was making a tilt. So it was half discovered, half not discovered when they found out about the tilt in Uranus because they only thought it was a planet that was causing the tilt. Neptune was named after a Roman god of the sea. Its symbol is a stylized version of Neptune's trident. In 1989, Voyager 2 found the Great Dark Spot, but it was vanished when the Hubble Space Telescope tried to get a glimpse of it in 1994. Voyager 2 also 5 out of 14 moons of Neptune were found by Voyager 2 in 1989. The 4 closest moons that orbit between the planet's rings are probably made of dust particles for the moon's surfaces. 5 more moons were spotted in 2002 and 2003. Almost all of our knowledge of Neptune comes from Voyager 2's pictures and videos in August 1989, which sent back more than 9,000 pictures and other data. Neptune's atmosphere is made of methane gas, which makes it blue. Neptune is the most dense out of all the gaseous planets. Neptune's mass is 17 times the masses of Earth and a bit more massive than its near twin, Uranus. On average, Neptune orbits the Sun at the distance of 30.1 astronomical units, approximately 30 times as the Earth-Sun distance. Neptune is similar in composition to Uranus, but different from the larger gas planets, gas giants or gas planets, Jupiter and Saturn. Neptune's atmosphere is made out of hydrogen, helium, methane, dioxide, and ethane. Neptune is basically just ice, but there are also different types of ice, such as ammonia, water, ammonium hydrosulfide, and methane ice. Beneath the dense and thick atmosphere, Neptune is thought to be made of a mixture of molten rock, water, liquid ammonia, and methane. The inside is pretty soft. Neptune's diameter is 30,778 miles. The average distance from the Sun is 2.8 billion miles away, and the orbital speed around the Sun is 3.4 miles. The sunrise to the next sunrise is 16.11 hours, and the average density, the gravity at the cloud tops, is 1.13. I chose Neptune because it is a beautiful planet and since it is so far away. I also chose Neptune because it contains its heat inside of it rather than outside, like all the other planets. Another thing that I think is cool about it is that some scientists think it might be causing a weird tilt in Uranus, since they are so close together. I also chose Neptune because it has very little rings. Neptune is a great planet to study because of its cold atmosphere and icy lands. The birth of Neptune reminds me of rain forming an ocean. It reminds me of this because the ocean is like a whirlpool of rain, and the methane gas of Neptune is like rain swirled together. When Neptune formed, it might have looked like a giant explosion with rain coming out and forming a giant ocean ball with outside waves, which are the rings. Neptune also looks like this because it is dark blue. It also reminds me of this because I have been to the beach on a rainy day a couple of times, and the ocean was going wild and it looks like a whirlpool. The body of Neptune reminds me of the giant blue pearl that I have seen when meditating. It reminds me of this because Neptune's outside is like a meditative ball, which is like the blue pearl. It also looks like a mindful place to float and meditate on. Also, when you think of Neptune, you might think of a giant gem in space, just like the blue pearl. It also reminds me of the blue pearl because I have seen the blue pearl when I went to a meditating convention when I was young. Neptune's biggest moon, Triton, reminds me of the Sea King Triton. Triton the moon is like Ariel's father from The Little Mermaid. They are both very similar because Triton the merman and Triton the moon have the same name. Also, Triton, Neptune's moon, is named after the Roman sea god, which is basically what Triton the merman is. They are also very similar because Triton the merman has a trident, which is like a spear with 3 arrows on it, and that spear is the symbol for Neptune. The little pale blue flowers on the Gate campus that look like giant flowers remind me of Neptune. They remind me of Neptune because Neptune is made of combined gases, but it looks uniform in color. The flowers are separate flowers making one big flower, like the separate gases of Neptune making one big blue planet. The flowers that make the big flower also look a bit circular, just like Neptune. The flowers are also a bit jagged, like the surface of Neptune. The blue porta potty by the Montessori School's greenhouse on the Gate campus reminds me of the color of Neptune. It also reminds me of stinky gases floating around on Neptune. They are both stinky, probably because of the stinky gases like the methane gas. I really learned a lot by studying Neptune. I learned that Neptune has 14 moons and that Triton, its biggest moon, is bigger than Pluto because Pluto is so small. I also learned that Neptune is the most densest out of all the other outer planets.